Peace and Black Power families, Brother Agyei from Harlem Liberation School, where we teach black people to wake up, clean up, and stand up. I hope everyone is at peace, yet preparing to war back against any of those forces that are spending billions of dollars creating playbooks and trying to frame public policy to war against us. Um, well, family, I want to share a quick message with you, and that is it's a question that I'd like you to ponder and really think about. There's a popular brand, and it's funny because I can't even remember the name of the brand, that is often on TV with its commercials. And the question that they ask in this commercial is, what's in your wallet? Now, of course, when we think wallets, naturally we're thinking about finances and money, material wealth. And I want to remind many of us today who, for some people, your only frame of reference for organizations or organizational structure is that of nonprofits. And I want to remind those, and in some cases tell you for the first time, before there were nonprofit organizations, social justice organizations, charitable organizations, black people formed their own independent organizations with their own independent black funding, volunteer workers, getting money from the church and money from black fraternal organizations and sorority organizations, and from the larger community. And those organizations were highly effective. The organizations that spearheaded the civil rights movement and the black power movements were not nonprofits, family. They were independently created grassroots black organizations that were local and national in scope. And they didn't go write grants to the government because they couldn't write grants to the government because the government was in clear opposition to black empowerment, right? So we had to depend on each other. So SCLC, SNCC, the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee, all these organizations, NAACP, CORE, were getting money from the black community, almost exclusively. And their workers primarily, probably with the exception of SCLC and SNCC, and even in those cases, the staff members were all black, and they had volunteer workers who joined who were white. But the core group were black people. The point was that we didn't complain about what we didn't have. We simply took what was at our disposal. And as Booker T. Washington said, we cast our buckets where we were. So instead of casting, if you're fishing, instead of going way a million miles away, look right where you are in your immediate environment. What's here? What people are here? What talents do these people have right here? What experiences? What intelligence and information and skill set and leadership capacity do we have right in our neighborhoods that we can pull from to launch movements for civil and human rights and for economic self-sufficiency? I raise that to say, I'm going now back to this commercial that I see on TV all the time. What's in your wallet? And it got me to thinking, there was a time in this country where black people were clear on what was in our political wallet, right? And so we knew, well, we didn't have African-centered schools in the civil rights, and it didn't really start until the Black Power movement, and that was more like the mid-60s and the 70s. So how did we raise all of these warriors and revolutionaries and progressive-minded black people that were politically engaged with such razor-sharp analysis and such dedication? It's because we understood what was in our political wallet. Or as Adam Clayton Powell the Great used to say, what's in your hand? What do you have in your possession? You ain't got to go to nobody else. You have this already. You just have to recognize it and utilize it and organize it. And one of the things I notice is that we seem in some places to have lost that Our politics is becoming a poverty consciousness politics. We operate from what we don't have. We operate from what they're doing and how powerful they are and how weak we are supposedly in comparison. And I would like to challenge us to get to a healthier political position. I'd like to challenge us to go back in time. And I want you to go back all the way back to the early 1900s, when our great scholar activist W.B. Du Bois did a whole book chronicling these independent, black created, black funded, black managed mutual aid societies. Well, black people didn't have a lot of money, took their little pennies and their nickels and they put it together regularly, put it in the pot regularly for years. And as a result of their little bit of contributions that they put into these mutual aid societies, with no government help, with no grant money, with no great white patron, black people amassed some degree of wealth, and then they took that wealth, they gave it out in the form of helping to build churches and schools. They gave it out in the form of providing widows or orphans with some type of monetary relief, of giving death benefits to black people. I'm trying to get you to get out of the mindset that we need other people to fight our own battles, family. It is an absolute lie and a myth. And so today the question is, what's in your political wallet? We're not talking about your money. We're not talking about that. We're talking, what's your skill set? What information do you have? What's your level of expertise? Your area of expertise? Who are your connections? What are your experiences? Who are your teachers? What can you offer in your political wallet? What can you dig into your political wallet and contribute to our black liberation movement? I want you to think about that, because there are a lot of you who may watch this or may not, who think that you are nobody and nothing, you have nothing to contribute. And I like to challenge that. I'd like you to really think about, well, do you have organizational experience? That's something you can offer. Artistic experience? That's something you can offer. Do you write well? Do you have newspaper experience? That's something you can offer. Are you a proofreader? That's something you can offer. Are you a great orator or public speaker? That's something you can offer. Right? Are you good on leadership theory, liberation theory? Are you good at analysis and understanding historicity of our movement? That's things you can offer. So I simply want to say, family, don't sell yourself short. Black people, think about what's in your political wallet, what you have to offer. So we don't have to always go way downtown to the mayor and to the governor and all these other people who really don't hold our interests at heart, family. Cast your buckets where you are. Look right where you are and say, what do we have in this household? What experiences, leadership qualities, resources do we have? And I guarantee you, if you do that, we're going to create a new crop of leadership that's bold and fearless. But you got to know the history. You have to know that organizations have created much more forward motion than we see today. With all our this inundation of information through the digital age, with all these innovations, artificial intelligence, these organizations, Black Panther Party, Revolutionary Action Movement, and I can go on and on and on. The Provisional Government of the Republic of New Africa, Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee, even SCLC, even the integrationist organizations, they were more effective with galvanizing people, with reaching people with a message than we are today. And they didn't get a cent from the white man, family. I want to make it clear. This ain't no opinion. This is fact. And if we understand what we got, what's in your political wallet? What's in your political wallet? What ancestors do you have? What bloodline are you in? What does grandma know? What experiences did uncle and auntie have they can share? What's your leadership experience? Contribute that. What's in your political wallet? The white man got us so caught up in money and money and money and money. And let me tell you something, man. If money was the answer, wouldn't be none of these rich people killing themselves, getting drugged up and looking out, participating in all types of sexual deviancy, losing themselves, going to rehabs. That's not your answer. It's a tool, but it is not the answer. The answer is faith are invisible things. Faith, do you really believe that we're beautiful people, that we deserve to be free, regardless of our imperfections and critiques and grievances? Do you really believe that we come from a great people? Because if you really believe that, we'll see that as evidence in your action. What's in your political wallet? What do you have right? Not way downtown with the mayor, not way upstate with the governor. What do we have right in our homes, on our blocks, in our communities that we could put to work for our people? So it's a question I'd just like you to think about, to ask yourself, what do I have to offer? What do I have that I can give to this movement? Be it a space. I remember when we first started Harlem Liberation School, and I put the call out. This is back in 2016. Said, man, we're trying to do this political education center in Harlem, and we don't have the space for it. Put it on Facebook. And a sister, a former student at Syracuse, who was also in our organization, our Student African American Society, said, hey, me and my husband have an art studio right in Harlem. Give us a little love donation, and y'all can come through whatever Mondays you want. Boom. So their contribution was the space, right? They didn't give money, but they gave us space because they had it already. So people in our movement give different things. And it's very important that we do study so that we understand that. So when people tell you that, you're not thinking that they're making stuff up, you know it. Because you know where our people came from. And I'd like to know, what independent black mutual aid societies do we have today? We all got to go to the white man's insurance companies. Why? Because we don't have none. But there was a time when we had some. And it was all black funded. And the people weren't rich. So I'm trying to murder the myth that we got to be rich to get stuff done. We got to have all this money. No, you got to have faith, invisible things. Faith, determination, commitment, love, empathy, and you'd be surprised what you can make happen. You can make people older than you, white folk in power, bend to your will. You can take their institutions and remake them in your image. You can build things that nobody thought could be done. I know this from personal experience, and I know it from observing others. So family, the question is, not how much money you got, not what's in your trust fund. The question is, not what white people did to us and what they did. The question is what we going to do and what's in your wallet. What's in your wallet? Think about that. Not nobody else, not the white man, not anybody else. What do you have that maybe you've been sleeping on that you can contribute to our beautiful black liberation movement? And for those who don't know and who need reassurance, I want to tell you, I don't know everything, but I know this. Black people are beautiful. Black people deserve to be free and empowered. Black people deserve to be safe. Black people deserve to be seen and understood. Black people deserve to thrive without artificial barriers of race or gender or class. And with that, I'm done, family. Brother Mansa in the building. Peace, good brothers. Good to see you. Salute back to you, my brother. And while you're here, thank you for all the work you do. I'm familiar very generally with your background, and you are nothing short of a miracle. You are nothing short of a miracle, good brother. That's a fact. There's no way you or I are supposed to even be here in right mind, kicking this truth, spitting these fiery bars and resurrecting dead black folk. There's no way we're not even supposed to be reading and writing and articulating, thinking politically. But we are, aren't we? Not because of the white man. Who's that because of? Because of us. we are our saviors. And as soon as we really believe that, you're going to see black people moving differently. But we don't believe. Because when you believe, you're going to see the requisite action of someone who believes. So one of our goals, Brother Mance, I'm sure you would agree, is to spark the community. Not beat them up. We understand why we are the way we are. We've been studying it all our lives and teaching it. So we have to have empathy and build the people up. Give them that information. Help them understand, tell our stories. Tell them from whence we come. All the mistakes we made. The beautiful, gracious Africans and New Africans that pulled us in. Despite our ignorance and naivete. And nah, brother, I was just talking to a professor from Syracuse University yesterday. And I told her, I'm so grateful I have you in my life. I'm so grateful you were in my life. Because this sister saw me when I was young and hardcore nationalist. And I would say some of the most foolish, outlandish things that I thought were right and exact. And she had a way. She was an African American Studies professor at Syracuse University. Dr. Janice Mays. She's here on Facebook. And so many times she probably doesn't even remember, she would say, back then my name was Quentin, my so-called governmental born name. She said, Brother Quentin, I could tell that you got the potential to be a warrior for us. I love your spirit. She said, but brother, you have your language. I want you to focus on your language. Your language is important. She would always say that, and to support what you say when you're talking empirically, but it's the way she corrected, because why? She saw this young brother got potential. He got the heart. He got the fight, but he's a little rough. We gotta refine him to make sure that he is the best warrior that he could be. And people like her saw me with potential, but going in the wrong direction, and pulled me in and taught me. And we have to do the same for our people today. We have to. When we see that they kick in bullshit philosophy that is actually wrong, that is reactionary, that leads to apathy and defeatism, we have to challenge them. But we can't do it angry. We have to say, no, that's not true. Anytime that we had any type of ability to breathe, other people may have helped down the line, but we were the primary saviors. We were the people, right, that created those movements. You go in history, you hear the abolitionist movement in the 19th century. People think that that's a white people's movement. William Lloyd Garrison. No. Those are black movements that black people made a space for that, because black people were the ones that were wounded. Frederick Douglass famously wrote, let he who is wounded cry out. Let he who's affected be the leader of their movement. So people like us were speaking against slavery, particularly the so-called freed blacks who could read and write and who were literate. And of course, our enslaved brothers and sisters were an integral part of the Underground Railroad, integral part of creating maroon societies or palanques. And that gave a space for the concerned whites to get in. But we created those venues, not them. Some people want to say, oh, Lyndon Baines Johnson, the president, he signed the Voting Rights Act and Civil Rights Act in 1965. Family. He was forced into that position through the very effective grassroots community organizing work of groups like CORE, groups like SNCC, and groups like SCLC, who turned up the fire and also exposed to the media, to people all over the world, the naked, raw brutality of white Southern sheriffs. And people all over the world saw these so-called riots or rebellions and property damage and people getting hurt. And so what did it do? It forced legislators into a corner to say, man, if I want to get these votes, if I don't want to seem like I'm a complete racist myself, I better give a concession. So remember, anytime that we got something that was good and beautiful, it's because we put it there. And any time in the future, we get something good and beautiful. Even if other people come along later and help out. We had white people was donating money. You had celebrities in the 60s, Charlton Heston, Marlon Brando. All types of people came and donated, Jane Fonda. But they wouldn't have had nothing to donate money to if black people didn't create the organizational space and the organizations and the movement. So be very clear. The question is not what's in your physical wallet. This is where we got sidetracked. See? It's not what's in your physical wallet. It's what's in your political wallet. What's in your political wallet, black man and woman? We want you to bring your expertise, your leadership skills, your personality traits, your skill sets to the movement. We need you. And we don't want you to think that we have to agree on every single point. That's never going to happen. It has never happened. It never will happen. Black people have variants when it comes to political beliefs, but we hopefully believe that we want to be free, man, and safe and productive, huh? Yeah. So what's in your political wallet? Think about that, family. And if you're not involved, if you're not in an organization, as the great Dr. Khalid Muhammad chastised me when he saw me on 125th one day, brother, what organization are you in? I said, well, right now, brother, I'm not. So, okay, what organization did you start? I said, well, brother, he said, brother, you're supposed to be in one or start one or support one. And I'm bringing that to you. If you going through here and you getting upset at what white people doing, you watching the news, you should be getting upset. But more importantly, you should be getting involved. Get involved. If you can support an organization, promote what they're doing. Share. Mark McPhee, I see, is on this feed. One thing Mark McPhee used to do, he used to share Harlem Liberation School's events and other people's events in the community. Or share it. Just doing that is that's a big contribution. Sharing people's events with your audiences, and we get this kind of cross-pollination, right? Sharing information is important. So I'm saying all this to say, give serious thought to what you can give. Move from the position of you're upset and what the white people are doing. It ain't nothing new, family. It's variations of what they've been doing. I want you to think about this. A people that can go to another people's homeland, thousands of miles away, kill, capture, subjugate, transport those people to their land, use their labor, call them the most ugly names known to man, sexually abuse and assault them, exploit their labor, and try to say to the world they are subhuman. If people could do that, they can do anything. The stuff they're doing now is child's play. It's just manifestations, because what it means is people don't love and value you. They see you as expendable and disposable. They see you as their ticket to wealth. And has that changed? Nope. So you join their party, they see you as their ticket to wealth. They see you as their means to get votes. But there's no love. So, family, what's in your political wallet? What do you have? Forget about what they doing and what we ain't doing. What do you have that you can contribute to an organization? By starting a new organization, by contributing, joining an organization, by supporting one. Because at this point, family, if we're not talking about what we're going to do, we're not talking about how we organize our resources, our talents, then we are wasting breath. Because every time we're talking and that's not being addressed, we got people like the Heritage Foundation that's meeting, creating playbooks, publishing them, recruiting people to join their movement. If you type in Project 2025, go to their website, you're going to see they have a portal. And they're recruiting people. You can put your name and address and what your talents are. Family, come on, we gotta. And if you're not doing that, then be man and woman enough just to admit. Because I've been scared before. There's things I want to do, but I didn't want to get kicked out of school. I didn't want to have to go to jail. I didn't want to get killed. I read about the history. I knew the history. I didn't want to. We all deal with that, but family, if we want to be free, overcome it. Admit, I'm afraid. Admit it. Okay? Admit it. And then you will never have to overcompensate and front anymore. Just say, I'm a little afraid. I'm a little scared. I don't want to have to be broke and resign from jobs, get fired from jobs, get negatively talked about, get scorned and ostracized, get it. Family, I've been through all that. I've been legally arrested twice. And I was only 18, 19 years old. That's a fact. No paperwork, nothing. That's a fact. And much more. Death threats, much more. That's what it is. Some of us are going to have to go through that. Some of us don't have to go through that level. But if you're fighting for what's right in a wicked world, there will be, what? Ramifications. So admit that you're afraid. It's okay. It's human. But then acknowledge that if you don't do nothing, you're part of the problem. And then say, what's in my political wallet? What am I going to contribute to black people? And family, however you do it, God bless you. I'm not here to judge. If you say, I'm going to help the people on my block, that's beautiful. If you say, I'm going to help the people in the neighborhood community, great. If you say, I'm going to help people in my state, I'm going to help people in the eastern region, the southern region. If you say, I'm going to help black people nationally. If you say, I'm going to help people in the Pan-African spirit throughout the diaspora. If you say, I'm going to help the people in Africa be liberated, the Caribbean, fine. Choose your battlefield, family. But make a choice, make a decision, and get involved. With that, peace and black power. Thank you, Brother Manson is in the building. He says he agrees. Made a point yesterday asking the black people still want a black nation in America. The comments broke your heart, brother. I can relate. My heart is broken every day I look on some of this social media. He said we need to stand firm and unify as much as possible, and that's absolutely right. Dr. Khaled used to consistently say, he used to say it to me, he used to say it in his speeches, we must hold the line. And that hold the line has military applications. If you're fishing, you got to hold the line. That thing is pulling. You going to let it go? Or you going to hold that line? You in a tug of war. Your side against an enemy side. And you pulling the rope. You going to let go? You going to say, oh, my hands is calloused. I'm tired. You just going to step off and leave your post? Or you going to hold the line? Huh? And this is what we're asking. We got to hold the line. Brother Mance, I'm glad we know each other. And Brother Mark McPhee, I don't know if he's still here. There's quite a few black people who are holding the line and been doing it for decades. And still holding. There's elders, fam. I'm in touch with Baba Daruba bin Wahad. He's 80 years old. He's still holding the line. Because he believes that we're beautiful and that we deserve to be free and we deserve to fight for it. Period. You ain't got to know everything in the book, but you better know those three things. Because when you know those three things, everything else you need to know, you will know. Everyone you need to meet, you will meet. But if you really don't believe and you're faking and you're a hypocrite, that's going to come out too. Just be true. Just say, I want to get involved, but I don't know what to do. I'm a little afraid. But I want to get involved, and you'll be surprised what'll happen. You'll start meeting people and have situations where you'll get the things you need. But you got to believe. It's the invisible things. Much more important than the things that you can touch. Trust me, family. That's why we say mind over matter. Don't get caught up in the matter. Get this right. And you will move things. That said, family, peace and black power. Today at 6:30, we're going to do a mini class talking about 10 honorable ways to earn respect. This is specifically for our young people. I'm hoping young people are watching, you'll share it with the young people, but it's also for some of us older folk who think that we got to do all these other things to get attention and get respect, and all of them are leading us in vain and ego-driven and kind of useless directions. There are 10 honorable ways we can get people's respect and attention. And we're going to get into it today at 6:30 on Harlem Liberation School's YouTube channel. Thank y'all for listening, family. Peace. Black power.